thanks for watching the third part of our trip to Costa Rica in 2016. In our last video, we spent a lot of time just plain wet. We drove from the coast up to La Fortuna, near Arenal volcano, and went for a hike in the rain to the spectacular Rio Celeste waterfall. The next day, we went rappelling in the rain, down a ravine that had waterfalls in it, and then wound down at the amazing, unbelievable Baldy Hot Springs Resort. And it rained most of the afternoon. This time, we're leaving the mountains of the central part of the country and driving back to the coast. On the way, we drove along the largest lake in the country, Lake Arenal. There was a lake here before, but in 1979, a hydroelectric dam was installed, which tripled the size of the lake, and at the time provided 70% of the electricity for the country. This expansion of the lake actually caused the towns of Arenal and Tronadora to be relocated, and the old towns are now submerged at the bottom of the lake. Our friends who had come to Costa Rica a few years earlier recommended a stop to us on the west side of the Lake Arenal Hotel and Microbrewery. Finally, craft beer. It gets really windy here. The windows facing the lake inside the brewery were made of a thick plexiglass because a glass window would break from the pressure of the wind. It's a big destination for windsurfers, though. After trying every beer they had, we were back in the car. Very quickly, I saw possibly the most beautiful stretch of road I have ever been on. I don't know what it was about this place, but had we been less than 20 minutes from the beach, I would have made Eileen find us a realtor right then. It was here that I completely fell in love with Costa Rica. A little more than an hour later and we arrived in our final destination, the beach town of Sámara. It didn't take long for us to see some of the famous wild and not so wild horses that the town is known for. This was a busy town with about 4,000 residents and tourists in total, in the high season at least. Though there's only a few roads, there was actual traffic in the center part of town at midday. Sámara has everything you need: a fantastic protected bay and beach, a couple large grocery stores, and a bunch of mini supers, kind of like bodega markets, doctors, dentists, a couple pharmacies, lodging ranging from a hammock at a hostel at $7 a night to some pretty ritzy hotel rooms, and dining from cheap restaurants called sodas to international fare and even an American-style steakhouse. We stayed at the Alta Vista condominiums, which was about a kilometer away from the center of town, and even closer if you went via the beach. Even though this video looks like we were way out there were quite a few houses on the other side of the road here. Another reason that Costa Rica is awesome: working infrastructure. This road was actually repaved with fresh asphalt while we were here. Progress. After taking a quick look at the sunrise-facing floor-to-ceiling windows of our second-floor condo, it was time for fun. First thing we noticed was there was a lot of wildlife in this town. glimpse of the wild-maned North American female after Eileen left her hair in braids for a couple of days. Eileen and Madden went ziplining at a local spot the day after we got there. She told me they sometimes gave them the choice to go on the line upside down, and sometimes they didn't. Apparently, Madden howls like a wolf when he ziplines. Or screams like a banshee.
That was awesome.
Due to a scheduling mix-up, I was supposed to go fishing while they ziplined, but ended up going the next day. I convinced our downstairs neighbors to come. This was the first time any of us had handline fished, but with 4 of us in the boat, 3 hooks apiece, we did okay in 4 hours on the water. On our way back to shore, our captain cleaned all the fish for us. I got the impression he'd done this before. When we got back home, I made a huge bowl of ceviche, which Madden didn't care for. We even saw Wheel of Fortune on TV, and The Rock and Kevin Hart promoting their new movie on TV. The host did not speak any English, and it was evident that these two didn't speak any Spanish. They had a kind of, "Why did we get booked for this gig?" look on their face for several minutes. I said this in our first video, but the tides in Costa Rica were nuts. Here's the same log at high tide, then at low tide. Our last night, we went to El Lagarto, the steakhouse in town, and ordered the 2 most expensive things on the menu, one of which was a massive porterhouse. Add in a couple of beers and dessert, We walked out there for 83 bucks. Not bad. As I've already said, we had heard good things from friends who had come to Costa Rica, and I think we were excited, but in general overwhelmed with the generosity, beauty, and security of this place. Latin America sometimes gets a bad rap because of security. People everywhere are nice, and the places are gorgeous all over Latin America, but security is always in the back of everyone's mind. We didn't have to deal with much of that nagging fear in Costa Rica. Sure, there's crime, people get robbed, there is vice, but on the flip side, it's very evident that people pay taxes here, and those taxes pay for police you can trust when you're in danger and don't want to bribe from you first, and for a government that provides for its people. There are rich and poor here, but if you ask any Tico if they're happy in life, they will respond, Pura Vida. When we arrived, I heard the Ticos sing Pura Vida. Everyone says it, and they say it a lot. I thought Pura Vida was the Costa Rican equivalent of a Rasta saying, "Yeah, man." It isn't. It literally means pure life or simple life. But it's really a mantra to stay positive and live life to the fullest. Madeleine L'Engle wrote one of my favorite lines. Life, with its rules, its obligations, and its freedoms, is like a sonnet. You're given the form, but you have to write the sonnet yourself. After 9 days in Costa Rica, Pura Vida is worth putting into anyone's personal sonnet. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel so you can always see when we upload something new. And give this video a like below if you enjoyed it. As always, I've added links to a random video of ours that you might like, to our entire series, and to another YouTube creator who's way better at this than I am. Until next time, Pura Vida.